All right, today we're putting two of the most famous planes on the planet head to head. One is a flying palace, a true symbol of personal wealth. The other? Well, it's a flying fortress, the ultimate seat of global power. This is Trump Force One versus Air Force One, and we're about to break down which one really truly rules the skies. So, what kicked off this whole showdown anyway? It all started with this pretty bold claim from Donald Trump himself. He actually said his plane wasn't just bigger than Air Force One, but that the presidential jet was a step down in every way. Now that is a big statement. So let's dig in and see if the facts actually back it up. So here's how we're going to break it all down for you. We'll start with the head-to-head showdown. Then we'll get into the real nitty-gritty specs, the tale of the tape. After that, we're taking you inside both planes, and we'll even expose a surprising weakness they both share. Then, of course, we'll talk money. And finally, we're handing the decision over to you for the final verdict. Okay, let's get this thing started. First up, the presidential showdown. We're going to introduce our two contenders and really look at what makes each of them so incredibly unique. You see, this is more than just comparing two airplanes. It's really a look at two completely different philosophies of power and prestige. In one corner, you've got the famous Trump Force One, a Boeing 757 that has been totally tricked out into a flying monument to the Trump brand. And in the other corner, the legendary Air Force One, a military-spec Boeing 747 that is, for all intents and purposes, the president's office in the sky. As you're about to see, these planes are just worlds apart, both in their design and in their mission. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. Trump claimed his plane was bigger. So, was he right? In this section, we are pulling out the virtual measuring tape and comparing these two jets inch by inch. Let's see what the numbers have to say. And, well, when you look at the table, the numbers really don't lie. Air Force One isn't just a little bigger, it is in a completely different weight class. It's way longer, has a massive wingspan, and get this, it can fly almost twice as far as Trump's jet without even stopping to refuel. The difference is honestly pretty staggering. So Trump's Boeing 757 clocks in at 155 feet. Now, to give you an idea of what that looks like, that's actually longer than an Olympic swimming pool. It's a big plane for sure, no one's arguing that. But the real question is, how does it stack up against its rival? And here it is, the knockout punch. Air Force One stretches to an incredible 231 feet. That's a 76-foot difference. So when it comes to the simple question of size, there is absolutely no contest. Trump's claim? Officially busted. But hey, size isn't everything, right? The real story of these two planes, the thing that truly sets them apart, is what's on the inside. Stepping into each one is like entering two completely different worlds, each designed for a very, very specific purpose. Let's take a look. I mean, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you have the absolute pinnacle of luxury. We're talking 24-karat gold-plated seatbelts. It's all about comfort and making a statement. On the other side, you have a flying hospital, an onboard medical suite ready for literally any emergency. It's the perfect picture of the difference between a private jet and a presidential command center. You know, when you step inside Trump's 757, you don't feel like you're on a plane anymore. It's more like a five-star hotel that happens to fly. There's a master bedroom, a private shower, and seats that feel more like thrones. This jet is all about living the high life. Quite literally. It's a flying monument to personal luxury. Air Force One, on the other hand, is a fortress in the sky. It's a mobile White House, it's a command center for the entire U.S. military, and it can stay in the air indefinitely thanks to its mid-air refueling capabilities. This plane isn't just for getting from point A to point B. It is a vital instrument of national security. So we have a palace, and we have a fortress. But what if I told you they both share a secret, a hidden vulnerability that could, in theory, ground them both? You might actually be surprised by what it is. So what is this hidden flaw? Is it some complex design issue, a security risk? Nope. It's something much more fundamental and maybe a little surprising. It's their age. Both of these incredible flying machines are seriously showing their years, and that's a much bigger problem than you might think. Just take a look at this timeline. It's pretty wild. Both of these planes have been flying for over 30 years. In the world of aviation, that is practically ancient. And with that kind of age comes a whole bunch of problems, from ridiculously expensive repairs to technology that's just been left in the dust. Here's a good way to think about it.
Imagine you've installed a brand new, cutting-edge stereo system, but you put it in a vintage car. Sure, the inside looks amazing and sounds great, but under the hood, it's still running on old-school mechanics. And that's a big deal when you're flying at 30,000 feet.
So we've covered size, luxury, and technology. But what about the bottom line, the price tag? In this section, we're diving into what it actually costs to keep these planes in the air. And let me tell you, the numbers are, well, they're astronomical. The difference in cost per hour is just mind-blowing. Trump's jet costs around $9,000 an hour to fly. Air Force One? A staggering $177,000 an hour. And that's not just fuel. That covers the massive crew, the fighter jet escorts, and the entire global communication network that has to travel with the president wherever he goes. And really, here's the bottom line. Trump's plane is his own, paid for by his companies. That gives him the freedom to go wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Air Force One, though, is a national asset, funded entirely by taxpayers. Every single trip is a massive undertaking, what some have called a logistical nightmare that involves hundreds of people and weeks of careful planning.
Okay, we've covered it all. The size, the style, the secrets, and the spending. Now it is time for the final weigh-in. Let's put these two incredible planes on the scales one last time and see how they really measure up.
This slide really just sums it all up, doesn't it? Trump Force One is the absolute peak of personal luxury and convenience. It's privately paid for, but it's running on older tech. Air Force One, on the other hand, represents unmatched presidential power and security, but it comes with a massive public cost and a huge logistical burden. One is a statement piece, the other is an instrument of power. So in the end, what's it gonna be? Form or function? Private luxury or public power? The sleek, stylish personal jet that's all about freedom and comfort, or the flying fortress that's a symbol of global responsibility? There's really no right answer here, but we'd love to hear what you think. Let us know which plane you'd rather have the keys to.